everybody, and welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is a Truth Tuesday, so I've got my buddy Satoshi Sean joining us. There's a lot to talk about. I don't even know if we'll get to all of it, or if we want to even get to all of it. Some things are better left unsaid sometimes, but it's interesting. McDonald's is posting about it being 17 degrees out. They're ready for McFlurry. Donald Trump is going to be making a big announcement, and he did make the prior announcement to the announcement saying "my fellow Americans," and I think a lot of us know what that means. So hopefully that the truth is coming out, and we have lots to look forward to. So be right back with Satoshi Sean. Make sure you give us a like and share the video, and we'll be right back right after this. Jump in the live chat. Hi, Sean. Merry Christmas. Almost.
Yeah, it is almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas. I hope Santa's going to bring us all a hammer.
We finally have our tree up and everything, so it's...
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's finally Christmassy.
Did the boys help you, or did you have to do it by yourself?
No, I don't have to do anything. They even hung the stockings this year, so...
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, but last year... Literally, I woke up the day after Thanksgiving, and they had done everything. And I was like, "Oh, cool! This time it must." But it didn't. I don't know. We're not very Christmassy mood. I think because I'm broke.
It's hard. A lot of people are really struggling this year.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a tough time for a lot of people.
I did get something really cool for Oliver, though. I got him a painting of him as a Pokemon trainer with a Pikachu on his shoulder.
Oh, very cool. I thought you did something with maybe that was last year, with him as a dinosaur or riding a dinosaur.
There's two. I got the other one as a small poster.
Okay.
Dinosaur, but he's out of the dinosaurs now, and he's more into he's obsessed with Pokemon.
He's grown up.
God, he's like a scholar. He starts talking about it. I mean, Susie's like, "Oh, Granddad, how you doing? Hey, did you know?" And then that's it. I'm just sitting there.
It sounds like my son talking about Fortnite.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, and the barometric pressure in this area of the Pokemon map is 2 degrees off from this one. And this it's just so stuff I had no idea. And deep lore that he knows everything about Pokemon. And then he starts talking about like designing the games and like making, stuff. And then, but Pokemon's it's funny because it's so old, like my kids were into it, and I knew a lot about it for adult, back then because they were in it. But then he's like, "Yeah, I want to do this. I'm going to call it a, orange turquoise Pokemon." And then Nick's like, "There already was one." And he's like, "Well, how about this fuchsia Pokemon?" He's like, "Nope, there was one of those in '92." It's like, he's like, "Really? Black?" No, there was a black. It was
You have to spell it backwards now or something to get something.
Yeah, we're trying to come up with a different name and then like a little story and stuff. But I think he's gonna like that. And then, but Nora, she's one of you people,
a girl.
Yeah, weirdo. So, a teenage one. So it's like she's hard enough, and then she's a different kind of person. So I have no clue whatsoever. And then Oliver now, he's like, my grandkids are very well behaved with their parents, but they finally are starting to defy them. I'm very happy about it because Oliver said, "Hey, Granddad, I like this. I want this. You get this for me?" And they, well, don't you ask anything you know. I was like,
Oh,
dude, thank you. Thank you. Because I have no clue and I need you to tell me what to
right.
get you. You know, I like begged them, what do you want? Oh, just your love. I was like, just tell me what you want because I don't know.
Like,
Give
you
me a
want to
clue.
tell me what item I can buy you. But I think that's kind of nice. Like my daughter, we were talking, and she's like me. Like I love to. I probably have like 5 Christmas gifts for Westwood in here somewhere. I don't know. And then like every time if I see something that reminds me of somebody, like
Hmm.
I want to pick it up and I want to save it, and then I want to give it to them. And like I love being able to do that. And my daughter and I was visiting to pick up Cannon. I spent the night with her and we had a great time. And she's like, things are just kind of tight this year. And she goes, how about if we don't exchange Christmas gifts? And I was like, yeah. I said, really, like just spending time. Your presence is my present,
Hmm.
literally, and especially, as they grow up and have their own lives and they're so busy, like you do realize how precious it is to spend time with them and for them to choose to share their life with you, like
Hmm.
you to be involved in and the person that they call, when they have a question or just to, catch up or need advice or whatever. It's really nice to have people choose to share their life. You are one of my closest friends. I'm grateful that you choose to share your life with me. Like that's a wonderful Christmas gift to me. It's an everyday gift all year round,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, maybe some of like dirty fiat finances being hard on everybody is for us to kind of remember it's not about them, you know, make
Yeah.
attention, make Christmas.
I've always like liked giving the gifts, and I'm a good,
Nice. Yeah.
I'm a really good gift giver. You know,
Yes.
like I
I,
remember that someone said something about this one thing
yeah.
2 years ago, and then like you said, I see it reminds me of them,
Yeah.
and I get, and then they're like, "How did you know I like this?" Oh, like 2 years ago you mentioned. They're like, "Yeah," you know, it's like they freak out, but I'll find something that's like a really good deal, like Bluetooth speakers. You know, I'm like run across a deal on Black Friday, and I'll get like 20, and then like I'll give that to just everyone. You know, here's your, I got you this, and dude, over the years, it's blows my mind how many of like, especially Roberts, because he knew some troubled kids, but they'd be like, "I've never got a Christmas present before."
Yes. I remember you talking about
And
that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
really, really? They're like, yeah, and then like still they'll and they'll like give me a Christmas present. You
Mhm.
know, it's Charles Bronson.
Yes.
He was Hollywood tough guy, everything, but he
Uh-huh.
was on a movie with Kurt Russell when Kurt Russell was a kid. I think it was like a Disney movie, and it was his birthday, and Kurt Russell like made him a present and gave it to him, and he just looked at him and walked away and went to his trailer, and everybody freaked out, and then like the next day or something, he has Kurt Russell comes over to his trailer, and he tells him he'd never gotten any present before, not for Christmas, not for his birthday, because he
Wow.
had a real rough upbringing. I hear,
Wow.
but he like was like really freaked out about it. And for Kurt Russell's birthday, he got him a skateboard, and he said for like the rest of their lives, they gave each other birthday presents.
How sweet is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just that, and that's where I guess I don't know. I can see both sides of it. It's that I'm thinking about you. I thought of you, but sometimes that can be done with spending time with somebody or calling them or,
Mm-hmm.
hard or,
Making him cookies.
yes, making memories with them. Yeah, whatever it takes. Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting to see how it all comes together. So I hope everybody finds their happiness and peace and presence or presence
Yeah.
Christmas, for sure. Do you want to jump into some little gossipy news stuff?
Sure. Sounds good.
I saw a little saying. It said, sit at a table where they're talking about ideas and solutions, not people, this season. And I thought, well, we kind of need to talk about some people still. And, some of them are some of these people being held accountable. I saw where they subpoenaed Pelosi possibly for her involvement in the J6, whatever they're going to call it. There's several words being thrown around. So I think that's interesting. And then Hillary and Billary were supposed to testify this week.
I did hear
she put herself in the hospital for
Hillary.
For a non-life-threatening illness.
Did you see that she threw her kid under the bus there?
No, but that's classic for those.
Not classy. I thought you were going to say classy. No, not classy. But they're like, hey, you have to answer questions on this. This is, blah, blah, blah for the Clinton. And he said, she said, oh, she literally, this is what she said. I'm just a retired grandma. My daughter runs that. She's the CEO. She's in charge of all that. She said, my daughter's in charge of all that. She's the one you have to talk to. I'm just a retired grandma.
That's all I am.
I thought that was pretty hilarious.
Wow.
I'm important. I need to be president. I'm just a retired grandma. Leave me alone. Yeah.
Well, hopefully the bats will swing in the spring. That's what I'm hoping. Love baseball. So that would be nice.
Hey, Yazoo.
I did also see, we were talking a little bit right before we got started, that several countries are having these revolutions. I know you and I had talked even last week or week before about Ireland and Scotland. They're Irish Republic and Scottish Republic, and they're like these guys with masks, and they say like our government no longer represents us.
Yeah, that blows my mind about Ireland, because like they literally like the IRA. And I want to talk to Lee about this. He's in Germany for Christmas now. But I mean, they fought the English. They tore their country up. It's, they literally, cut off a chunk of it. And England has that in Northern Ireland. And they have peace, but they're reinstituting the Irish Republican Army. They're like coming back up with their mass and their like some guns. But, they have what they have, bats or whatnot. But they're saying now that our enemy is our government. They're not protecting basically just the children and women. But they're not like they're straight up violence. I mean, they've gotten to that point, and we're all moving towards that where it's, violence is a last resort, but we're getting to the last resort all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
All these different places, they're getting to the point where it's the last resort. By design, I don't know if you saw this, but in the United Kingdom, they're not paying the cops.
Really?
And
did not see that.
Like 19,000 police are looking at striking. Wow. Because they're not getting paid, and they're asked to do some messed up stuff. Arrest someone for praying, and all the
yes. Yeah,
terrible, and they're not paying them. It's so obvious that they're just, please give us chaos. We're trying to make chaos happen.
Well, there's also, so we are coming to the end of the year. I know their fiscal year ends in September or end of September or whatever, but a lot of these, like there were literal fist fights in, I guess it's called Parliament, whatever it's called in Mexico. Women are pulling each other's hair. Another man is like trying to protect the podium thing or not get ripped off of it, like because they're trying to vote, or they were trying to stop the vote on approving the budget to fund the government for next year. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of these countries are having the same kind of things, and a lot of them are they're being overthrown. Like I knew it was a B. So it was in, what does it say? Bulgaria. And I was thinking it was Belarus as well, but there's several countries, other countries that are having these massive protests. And it is a lot of this Gen Z as well, kind of stepping up and saying, no, we
Mhm.
want a family and to be safe. And we're done with these invasions in what's supposed to be our country. And then, like you said, the government not protecting them. So,
Yeah, I've noticed that there is even in the United States, there's a shift away from. I think Trump was a big part of it because that was what everyone was like. Why would you not vote for Hillary? She has so much experience in government, and that was like, why wouldn't you? And then everyone's like, yeah, that's why she has so much experience in government. Government sucks. So we want it. It was the word outsider was used.
mhm.
So now that's kind of morphed into somewhat an outsider, but nobody wants the old people anymore. Geriatric, been around forever. No. You see this guy who's going in Florida?
No.
He's uh, he's just it puts it all out there. Just very upfront. Want this, want that, don't want this. H-1B ones, they're ripping off our country. Um, and he's young. You know, so I think it's my point is that young people are not just complaining anymore and protesting, or they're moving into to run stuff. Where they're going into politics instead of just complaining about politics,
Yeah.
which is that really I don't think has happened. They've always been the force of anger and push for
Mhm.
change, but getting the establishment to change, now they're just like, screw it, let's take over the establishment, which is what Beatles has been talked about.
Mhm.
Just take over the establishment,
Yeah.
start at the bottom. But that's, I think, what
Get
they're
involved. Yeah.
yeah.
That's good to see. Really good to see. So, um, I did have, oh, where did I put it? I just had it up. Oh, maybe it's still up. There we go. Um, this wonderful quote from Ronald Reagan: government's first duty is to protect the people, not to run their lives. But then this was kind of exciting today. So Donald Trump started with "My fellow Americans," which we all know what that's supposed to be. I think it's like a pre-announcement of the announcement. At least I'm hoping so. Of course, a lot of these addresses have ended up being kind of nothing burgers. So let's hope for the best. But it does say that he's going to address to the nation live from the White House. I look forward to, quote, seeing, quote, you. It's been a great year for our country, and the best is yet to come. And the best is yet to come. And the "My Fellow Americans" part is pretty classic Q post to be watching for the big announcements. Um, and then there's something to do with McDonald's, and I can't remember the tie of it. Do you remember the tie to Q with McDonald's, the McDonald's post, or how you're supposed to watch for the McDonald's post, or what it leads to?
No.
You don't remember.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So McDonald's 4 hours ago, 6 hours ago posts, my weather app says 17%, or not percent, degrees, but my heart says McFlurry. And they've been posting all these weird, I don't know, I guess it's from a game or something. I'm not really sure what all that means. But when you go into the comments, it's all like Keks and fix your ice cream machine. Why can't we have both? Oh, there's a little Sheba. First, let me take a selfie. There's the best is yet to come, 17, People's President, 41020. Yeah, that's DJT. And then more of there's more of the kicks. And there's also these Grinch salt right now, which is weird. There's some froggies.
Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I
anyway,
watched The Grinch Stole Christmas the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more 17s, gold. I don't know. It's very interesting. So if anybody has any information on that, I would appreciate them jumping in.
I think it's funny that they own a company called All Beef.
Who does?
McDonald's.
They own a company or they won't own a company?
They own a company called All Beef.
Hmm.
So they have all beef patties, but they're not all beef. But they're called All Beef because it's the name of the company.
Oh, I get it. So then they can call the patties. Well, they're
Yeah.
all beef patties.
They are 2 all beef patties, special sauce, less cheese.
Of the company, not
They named it.
the
The company's
ingredient.
named All Beef, where they get the beef from, for their Big Macs. So because it's legally not all beef, there's like some filler and so, but it's the name of the company's All Beef. I thought that was
Word salad.
ridiculous. Yeah.
The magic. Yeah. Crazy stuff. So do you think they will that there'll be a big announcement tomorrow with Trump? Do you think he's going to bring Tina Peters out?
Like I said, I think that I know he just got a judge just said that he did rape that chick.
What?
Yeah, that was you look it up on Twitter. Judge just ruled that he did rape whatever her name was. Because people are like, oh, it's not that, it's this, it's you can't actually say that, but I saw that a judge said that it's like, so now everyone on the left will be calling him a rapist, which they already called a pedophile. It's so much of a brainwashed movie.
Yeah, because they were releasing pictures of him with Hawaiian tropic models that are in
everyone says the same. It's like everyone says the same stuff. These people are pedophiles. They're terrible. Blah blah. It's like these people are pedophiles and they're terrible. It's like, what? Everybody is? No, that guy. No, that guy. It's like you guys are both saying the same thing. You can't see that it's like just a playbook that's being used by both sides. But
do you think none of them are?
No, I know lots of them are. I mean, come on. But there wouldn't be an Epstein if that wasn't a thing.
Right.
But I think it's on both sides. I don't know. I mean, I used to like Matt Gaetz. I guess I still like him because he's not proven. But I think that's how they got him. Is there was something,
Matt Gaetz is compromised.
Yeah, everyone's compromised. Either that or like Marjorie Taylor Greene is either compromised or they broke her. They found a way to threaten her in some way or get to her. Whether it's the trading, which I don't know if you know what's going on with Sean Ryan and Dan Crenshaw.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty bold. I'm a big Sean Ryan fan. I watch all of his shows. And he actually is really bold about, and I told him, I was like, yeah, don't back down. So what's his name? Who was it? You just told me. Oh, Crenshaw.
Dan Crenshaw, yeah.
Dan Crenshaw got upset because Sean said some comment about, where you got all your money or something.
No. See, that's the thing. If people start going off on like a little bit of a tangent. He just asked a simple question. He didn't even say it. He didn't even say it. No, he said Congress people make like $160,000 a year.
I think it's 140, but yeah.
I think it's 170 now. They've gotten raises.
Really?
So
Okay.
Anyway, but let's say it's 170.
Okay.
And he said you have senators who come into office and they're not rich, and then 2 years later they're having Steve Aoki DJ their birthdays.
About the DJ.
So it got looked up. You know how much he charges? for 30 minutes,
I don't even know who that is.
$150,000 to $300,000.
Wow.
So an entire year to 2 years salary for him to play at the party. So he just said, how can they afford that on their salary?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it was him. He said, how could someone who makes $150,000 a year, $170,000 a year,
Right.
afford to
Whatever.
pay someone this much money? And that's it. It was off comment, and that's what it all came from.
But what it went to was that Dan Crenshaw ended up writing him a letter and threatening him with SEAL Team 6, saying something like, the guys at 6.
Yeah, my boys at 6.
My boys at 6 or
told
something.
me that he sent him a message on Instagram.
Okay.
But and if you, I mean, he wasn't that really scared. I think he is, it's a little theatrical, but
Oh, yeah.
he's still a sitting senator
Exposed more.
who was a Navy SEAL, send a veiled threat to him, with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Crenshaw is hated by all SEALs pretty much, because he's a dick.
Mm.
He's literally screwed them over. They went to him as a congressman and asked for, just him to do his job, and he has not helped them. He hasn't.
He didn't look into Benghazi. He didn't help with.
No, I would think that he would go out of his way a little bit. I think he would.
Yeah.
I would be more worried about him giving extra special treatment to them, but he has not done crap. And he's one that did disappoint me. Didn't know who he was, knew nothing of him. I found out who he was years and years ago because Pete Davidson, when he first got elected, made a joke about him on Saturday Night Live. That he just got elected, he had the eye patch, called him a pirate, something. And he went on Saturday Night Live the next week and came out and got in his face and was like, "You got something to say, man?" And it was funny, but I thought that's really direct. He's a former Navy SEAL. They're talking crap about him, and he shows up. And then I was like, he wasn't a politician. He was a regular guy. He was in the Navy. You know what I mean?
Right.
My best friend's a SEAL. I was like, this might be a okay guy. And total disappointment.
I did at first. Yeah, I thought because he's military and all that, I thought he could be trusted. But I'm far as I can remember, he's one of the Congress people that certified the illegitimate vote.
He's done everything. He's screwed over Second Amendment stuff.
No.
He's for sale, man. It really, whichever way the wind's blowing, whatever's going to give the most money, whatever it looks, looks shady. He usually goes that direction. It's sad. It is sad because he was someone I thought maybe this guy, but
Well, that's where the more transparency we have when they're talking about putting even Wall Street on. We're seeing Bank of Japan fail, and they're having to sell off their assets, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we don't have to go down. But that is causing this run to hard assets, things that can be proved. And then they're talking about, putting Wall Street on blockchain. Supposedly, Pocahontas slipped something in the bill that just went through, putting stable coins in USDC or something, some kind of additional thing while everybody was focused on, Charlie Kirk's wife and Candace Owens fighting and stuff. And that's where when the thing with Sean and Dan start kicking up, and then how much of that is, drama llama distraction. Yeah, sure. It's showing, yes, we all know the Congress people either, insider trading or make deals with people because how it doesn't make sense that they all live in McMansions, like you said, well, that's true.
One thing I think is cool though is that it's kind of a smack in the face, because it's not supposed to be this way. The way we live, the way we run our country, it's not supposed to be like this.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you saw the rant he did years ago, because he was questioned about the stock stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be doing any kind of a stock trade. Maybe we shouldn't be allowed to stock trade. Maybe we shouldn't be allowed to invest. Maybe we shouldn't even get paid. Maybe we shouldn't." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." You
Mhm.
know, it's you shouldn't go into Congress for 20, 40 years.
Right.
Dude, you get retirement for like the rest of your life after like
Yeah.
5 years or something.
Well,
You
and I
get
love when
health
you,
care for your entire life
yeah.
after just working like a day. It
No, 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 no. It's not a day. So Marjorie Taylor Greene worked up into the point one day over what the vetting time was
for the retirement.
for the
Yeah,
retirement.
but health care, you get that right after you
Oh,
start
do
for the
they
rest
get
of
it
your life.
forever though?
Yeah,
Oh, I did. I
forever.
wasn't
So
sure
it, but
because
it's not.
she just
It's supposed to
quit
be,
like
and
90
that's
years old.
and the thing with Sean Ryan also is pissing me off because everyone's like, "Your officials, the officials, the official." Dude, use the word servant. Use just little things.
Mm-hmm.
Democrat instead of democratic.
Yeah.
Servant instead of officials. It just changes the way things are. Just to use those two simple terms. Um, but yeah, maybe like John McAfee used to say, we shouldn't even have elections for these people. For Congress, for presidents, sure, but not for Congress. That should be like jury duty. You should get called. It should be
That's,
for 2 years. You should complain about it. People shouldn't want to do it. You know, it should be, damn, I got stuck being a congressman for 2 years.
nope.
And
It's
that's
going to
it.
be a burden to my family,
Yeah.
whatever, yeah. That's what I was thinking of is how you explained the other thing that you talked about, and you talked about it for years, is that if they, I don't know if you were saying if they initiate the law or if they are part of instilling a law,
Mm-hmm.
then once the like emergency is over, it can never be.
If it's a temporary, yeah, if it's a temporary thing like the Patriot Act or something like that, where
Mhm.
this is temporary, we're going to suspend this, or we're going to raise this tax, but it's temporary. Like if they had done that back in the 30s or whenever, that wouldn't have income tax. You know, this would be for the next 10 years. You know, and people should have done that. They should, like, this is temporary. Why don't we just say it's for the next 30 years? It's not going to be for 30 years. That's crazy. Let's just put it in writing. 30 years and then it goes away. Imagine that. You know, by the 50s, it would have been gone.
If it doesn't, then what were the consequences? Because that was part of what I thought.
Yeah, well, I thought if with the Patriot Act or anything that's temporary,
Mm.
if you vote for it, then when the time is up, you can't vote anymore.
Yeah.
You have to, because you have to leave.
You kind of put all your chips in that one bag saying
Yeah.
like, this was an emergency crisis. We're, suspending your constitutional God-given rights because of this emergency to keep you safe. And so then you need to leave when it's over. Yeah.
At the minimum, I think you shouldn't be allowed to if you still keep your job and everything stays the same, you shouldn't be allowed to vote on extending it.
Yeah.
Or you should automatically vote against it. That would even be better, because you originally said it's going to end at this time. So that should make your vote, because you made that promise. So this is only going to be for 5 years.
Mhm.
5 years later, you have to vote against extending it, because you voted and said this will be for 5 years. So you can't change that. You have to vote no on extending it.
And you either came up with solutions during that time or our rights are no longer suspended.
Mhm.
Then you just accept it and move on and let the people.
But imagine that. Imagine if everyone that voted for the Patriot Act, when it came to renew it, they had to vote no. It wouldn't go. It wouldn't extend unless people weren't in Congress for 20, 40 years. You know, if there was a role, but they're not. So the same people, you would literally have like 8 people voting on it, because everybody else is still there from the last time.
Wow. What a different world it would be.
Yeah.
You know? Oh man. Well, I'm still hopeful as always that some things will change, some things will come out. I don't know if Hillary will roll on Hillary since she's in the hospital and saying she can't, be brought to testify or whatever. It'll be interesting to see what happens with all that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's worked. I mean, literally, there's so many things that have happened that it's just like, dude, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, the Department of Justice literally said, "Yeah, we found that Biden did this, but he's such an old guy that we're not going to do anything.
He can't
He's
be
an
held.
old guy."
Yes. While he was still president,
Yeah,
they said he wasn't fit to stand trial.
because he's just an old guy. So now she's saying, "Oh, I'm just a grandma," so she's just an old lady. It's ridiculous. And criminals are morons for not using it. I mean, to me, that should be a precedent. If I ever got charged by the Department of Justice, I would cite that as if I was old, I would cite that as I'm older than this guy, and you said he was too old. You can't charge me. I mean, how is that not like? I know it's not case law, but it's a precedent, you know.
The whole thing's crazy. Well, the Epstein files are allegedly supposed to come out Friday. And I think that's what all this is leading up to. I think that's why the Reiner thing happened. We were supposed to get a suicide weekend, I think, before this. Maybe it'll be after it. But it's really interesting to see, or it will be interesting to see what actually hits the ground Friday. Do you think it will?
No. I don't think that.
You get a bunch of pages with big black lines on them.
Yeah, or we'll put it off till after Christmas or after the New Year. But it's
yeah.
And if all else fails, I think it's going to be, what? You're still talking about that? That's so 2025. It's 2026. Get over it. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Area 51.
If you're looking for them to do something, nothing's going to happen. Until you go out yourself or get in a fight in Parliament, whatever, nothing's going to happen. It's
we shall see. We shall see. Any other big updates?
What do you think about Venezuela and what's going on there?
It's my understanding it's about the vote. So, and he gets kicked off for asking. I didn't kick him off. My hands were right here. Hopefully he comes right back. But it's my understanding that Smartmatic. Oh, here he goes. Welcome back.
Ooh, that touched a nerve there.
Apparently you did.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that it's about the vote and Smartmatic and the connections there. And so I think it has less to do with the oil and all that kind of stuff that they're leading people to believe. Oh, you did tell me that you found some information that you.
Yeah, I think a big thing is it's a way for us to move the fleet into the Gulf of wherever, because Russia's moved a fleet and no one's talking about that in the media, which is odd. They've moved carriers, they've moved nuclear submarines. There's nuclear Russian submarines off of Florida coast.
Wow.
And nobody's talking about that. There hasn't been this, not since Kennedy has it been this bad. But the Russians passed a article in their Duma that they're rearming the Cuban military, and they may reactivate. They're approved, so they're gonna reactivate several Russian bases on Cuba. So we've got a base on Cuba. So we'll literally have Russian and American bases on the same island nation.
That's wild to think about.
Crazy to think about. But they said that that's in response to what we did in Ukraine with the long range, weapons.
Well, I saw Tulsi Gabbard talking about something with Ukraine. She's very concerned because she's admitting to, or acknowledging, I shouldn't say admitting, acknowledging that there is bioweapons and bioweapon factories in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And then that they're bombing and shelling over there, that, that something could be released. And I don't know if that's a little foreshadowing to fear porn or what, because she's clearly part of the movie herself. But,
well, that was they said that like in the beginning, which makes sense, and honestly, I'd rather have our bioweapons tested and stuff, not in America. But we shouldn't be doing it anyway. But if we do, we're probably going to
say, isn't it against the Geneva Convention to have bioweapons or whatever?
There's so many loopholes. That was who I watched. Oh, it was the fat electrician. It was like, you talk about like voting and how you just go back to paper, and with the Indians with the little purple stamp or whatever.
Yeah, purple finger.
He's like, even if you're in government and you're trying to tax the rich and you're trying to do what's fair and help, poor and all that, the more you do, the more you hurt the regular guy, because the more complicated you make it, the harder it is for a regular person to find loopholes. And because if you're a billionaire, you can pay an army of lawyers and bean counters to go through the 1,200 pages to find you every loophole you can find. And a regular guy, a regular family can't do that. Wow. So they're going to get screwed. He said, just make it simple. If you make less than this, you don't pay anything. If you make this or more, 10%, 15%, whatever, to flat tax, there's nowhere to hide. There's no loopholes. There's not, it's simple. So the kind of going to the simplest way would be the best way, which is true. You would cut off so much, and also cheaper or simpler is cheaper. When I first heard about a flat tax, it was literally, they said it would be a postcard. You would have, I made this much money. You still have your standard deduction, whatever, and then you pay this much, or you just do a sales tax.
Now, the flat sales tax seems to be the one that I've heard floated around the most.
But I liked it. I think a flat tax, I don't like taxes at all, but I think that is just, if you make less than $100,000, you don't pay tax.
Well, it is a cop out, because when we talked about, somebody was like, well, then how about the roads, and how about ambulance? Wouldn't you want ambulance to come get me? Well, how about I be able to opt into that? How about it on my water bill? It says, would you like to pay for ambulance service this year? And I say, nah. Or I say yes. And then if I need the ambulance, I don't have ambulance service.
Or you do, and then you get billed.
Or you do, and then you get billed, and it's not the insurance model where it's supposedly cheaper, But yeah, let people opt in, and that's the whole thing. It's just, when it's forced from you, then it is slavery. Anytime that you have your effort being taken from you without your consent.
But I always think about looking back at today, like how would your great grandkids or whatever look back? Can you imagine 100 years from now, 50 years from now, someone explaining to a kid, well, yeah, so they, the richest country in the world, they had so much money that they just could give billions of dollars to other countries.
Mm-hmm. But they couldn't take their own.
But they had people living on the street, and they couldn't give, health care to people that needed it. And so that doesn't make sense. It's just basic common sense that makes no sense. And if you have enough money to give money to other countries, then you're taking too much money.
Yes.
Period. It's so like I said, it's simple.
It's very basic. Like if the US was a family budget, they would be failing.
Mhm.
And that's where, yeah, you don't have enough. You have too much month at the end of your money. You can't keep operating like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I agree completely.
But I mean, how do you explain that? No one has to explain that, or people just accept it, and it makes no sense. It
Mhm.
makes no sense that you can give, because like states give money to other countries. Several states, Texas is one of them, gives hundreds of millions or tens of millions of dollars. There's towns in Texas that send millions of dollars to Israel, hundreds of thousands of dollars to Israel from their budgets. I forget that it's another country. If you have that money, you need to put it in a fund and just for emergencies. To if you need money, even if you don't want to, give it back to the people. But
Yeah.
it's like it's not yours to give away. It's for the running of your county or your city or your country. It's for the running of your government. It's not to give away to someone else.
Well, maybe their loyalty lies somewhere else. There is this is really interesting. I kind of stumbled upon this today, but it's the Dual Loyalty Disclosure Act that was recently in the 119th Congress, introduced by Thomas Massey. And it's been like shut down. I guess they tried it in 2023. It got shut down. They're trying it again this year in October of 25. It would prohibit individuals holding foreign citizenship from being elected or serving in Congress, effectively banning dual citizenship in those offices.
But that's already a law, kind of.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
It's illegal to ask them their citizenship currently. That's what the law is.
No, well, there's one that says you're not allowed to have dual allegiance just to another
Members are not required to publicly
serve.
disclose dual citizenship. And this Congress does not
Right, but
report it.
that's the thing. They're not allowed to have it. That's already on the books. So if you find out that they have it, it's against the law to have it. But it's like Clinton, when Don't Ask, Don't Tell. They didn't say that it was okay to be gay in the military. They said, we're not going to ask you, and don't tell. And that's it. It's kind of that thing. We have so many laws. What I don't get is a lot of, it's like the Cuomo thing that I always get pissed about. If we know that this law is being broken, why doesn't someone, like, where does law enforcement fall?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can a county attorney get a warrant issued to go arrest a congressman? Or does it have to be the DOJ? Why is nothing done? I can understand that, it's like on a super high level, but there's so many levels of law enforcement. Like, you'd think one of these, because if it's a county commissioner doing something illegal, then that warrant's going to come from the state or the county. There's so many there's so many places that could arrest him. So what's the difference? If you go to a certain level of government, like only a certain level of government can issue the warrant, can arrest you?
Maybe that's why the white hats showed up in Trump's office on Friday, because the U.S. Marshals might be able to be the ones that have that kind of authority. Because that's the other thing with a lot of Trump's cases and all that, people kept saying, oh, it got dismissed. It got dismissed. It didn't get dismissed because he lost. It got dismissed because the judges, the courts that it was being brought to, did not have jurisdiction to hear them, to hear the issue. It was not in the proper court. And the same thing you're saying, like, well, who does have that authority? What authority are we in? And lately, Trump has been saying, like, we're done with the water, we're moving to the land. And if you know anything about common law and all that, the LAW, the land, air, water, like, there's a great graphic for this.
Do you think that might be one of the reasons why, like, BC is not a state?
For sure.
Because then it's like you can't go to a state attorney general to issue a warrant because they're not part. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would have to ask Greg. He would probably know.
He would probably know. That would be a great discussion with Greg. I took that screenshot of that LAW thing. There was a great graphic. I'll find it and put it in the Telegram for everybody, and I'll tweet it out. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time searching for it. I can see if I can find one really quick.
A BLM chick got she's accused of stealing $3.5 million.
She's from Oklahoma.
Is she?
Yep.
Tashella Sherry Amore Dickerson. Jeez, it's a lot of names. It's 5 names.
Well, she probably needed all of them to hide all of her stuff in.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. Yeah, she traveled to Jamaica.
Yeah, and she was seen with like Ilhan Omar and all that, like some kind of connection there.
The FIFA thing was pretty funny about the gay pride FIFA thing.
I didn't see that.
So America's getting the World Cup, and one of the matches it was during Pride Month or something, so they wanted to have like a Pride Bowl. They wanted to make this match a Pride match, and but they have to the FIFA picks the teams, so they picked the teams for this match, and it was Iran and Egypt. And you get it's being gay is illegal in both countries, but in Iran, death. In Egypt, being gay is not illegal, but it's considered debauchery. You get charged with debauchery, which is prisonable. Not they don't kill you, but still, both the countries are like, no, that's not going to happen. We're not going to do that. But I thought it was pretty funny that they just happened to pick those two for the Pride Bowl. So there's not going to be a Pride Bowl.
Called a Pride Bowl?
They wanted to have the Pride match. It was one of the matches leading up to the World Cup, and it was going to be in Portland, or Seattle, and it was during Pride Month. So they said, oh, let's make this like a special match, a bowl, and they wanted to create an event, and it really blew up.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was in Ireland or maybe it was in Scotland. A guy came in and it was one of the like public government buildings, and there was a Pride Christmas tree. I don't know what being gay has to do with Christmas, but or who you sleep with. But anyway, so he's like picked it up and took it outside and threw it in the dumpster. I was like, yeah, that's, anyway. I did find this graphic. This was the one I was talking about that describes the differences in know your standing in law. And Trump has been saying we're moving from the water when he was, taking out the boats in the Gulf of America. And now he's saying stuff like we're moving to the land, which if you read through that, it talks about that's more about securities, investments, papers, standing, and what the standing deals with land, homes, investments, automobiles, precious metals, gems, other tangibles. Then talks about all this upper and lower case kind of stuff. Where back here in the water, it was, you guys have heard about the contracts, why our names are written in all capital letters, and contracts and commerce, and all that. And that's where like what's his name, Lutnick is over commerce. And so maybe we're leaving that kind of contracts and moving into this land. But it's very interesting when you start learning about the air. And that talks about, when you were talking about voting, well, I guess on both these, land and the air, they talk about a seal type is a red thumbprint. And
You did it. You did it.
A red thumbprint for voting or whatever.
You got your thumbs up. It popped up.
Oh, did I? Well, there we go. I hope that's a little nod to the future. Unless you did it. Maybe a computer do that. I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
You held it there for a second. So
I did actually have my thumb up that time.
When you put it sideways and then you turned it. See, now there it is. We figured out how to do it. Yeah. Okay. So you got to put it up sideways for a second and then turn it.
Didn't do it that way. We'll try. We'll keep trying.
Yeah.
I like when I get the balloons and stuff.
Yeah.
That's always fun too.
Yeah, it's funny.
All the fun stuff. Yeah. Well, I think we've got a date change for WBRT for the next 2 weeks. Is that right? Yeah, we were talking about it in the chat. And they said, hold on. I'm going to give everybody a quick update because when Christmas falls and all that. So this coming Thursday, I think we're still doing the same. Oh no, are we too? Wait, we talked about it and then we agreed, but then Zach started talking about Bolshevism. So, okay. So we ended up going to Monday, the 22nd and the 29th. Will be some adjustment dates. I guess that's for Christmas and New Year's, around Christmas and New Year's.
Okay.
So those will be, we won't have our WBRT roundtable on Thursday. We'll be having those on Monday. So be watching for those on Monday mornings around Christmas time.
Oh, Elon coming out saying abolish the EU. I thought was pretty interesting.
Nobody really listens to them anymore, do they? So
yeah, they do. They have a massive control, which that was such a scam because they came out and they're like, oh, this is just for money and it's just for trade and we don't. And now they're like setting so many policies and it's not what they said it was. But I thought of something that would be this is tinfoil hat stuff, but. So America is really coming out against the EU,
okay.
Europe in general. Like, about the memo. Basically, it says Europe is our enemy. We need to destabilize Europe and fuck with it. That's government memo. That they're like an enemy. So, but we all of a sudden we're taking this big part, and we have made security guarantees to Ukraine. We, the U.S., we're not the EU. We did. If we make security guarantees and use Britain as part of the security guarantees, if it's a U.S., Britain, Ukraine, they're not part of NATO. They've said they're not going to become part of NATO. But is Britain part of the EU?
I don't know.
No, they're not. Remember
they
had Brexit? Had Brexit?
Oh, yeah, they did have Brexit. That was years ago.
So the EU would have no part in it. I just thought that was hilarious and very interesting.
But last time I saw like someone speaking at the EU, like no one was there. Like a bunch of countries got up and left one time. Then, there's like 2 people speaking and it's an empty room. I don't think
that's what our Congress is most of the time.
Well,
and there's like, you had Kennedy down there doing amazing, hilarious speeches, with all of his, my dog has ticks and blah, blah, blah. And there's like nobody there. I'm like, man, you're wasting all that stuff on nobody. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's I thought that was very interesting. The mood in Ukraine is very I don't like it. It's pissing me off. Um, because all the interviews that I see now, they're like, oh, I thought America was our friend. Now the Russia's friend. I was like, dude, what do you want? You know, it's been years. Literally, I'm paying for your men to die. You know, I feel like shit. I think if I don't want my money to go to war, period, but I'm literally giving money, and then their men are dying. I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to pay for their people to die. Um, and they're that we don't want to give up our land, and I can understand that, but we don't want to pay money for your longer war just to have your people die. It's
I didn't hear that. I think it was Trump saying that you need to have a election because Zelensky has delayed his the elections under the guise of war, wartime for so long now. And that's part of the reason this is being drug out so long. So I don't know. I think it will be.
Yeah, I thought the way as fast as the mood changed, people are like they're pissed, and they were like, I remember a year ago at the most. I remember most when I watched like interviews of people on the street, they were like, I knew America was our ally, but I didn't think they were like our best friend. I mean, this is amazing. And now it's like, I guess they're like Russia now. I mean, it's just like, and literally it's been years this has been going on.
Yeah. Well, like we said, like we know, the best is yet to come, like Trump says. We'll see what the big announcement is tomorrow night. I hope everybody has a wonderful week and spend some time, have some presence with your family and your friends. Right?
Take care, y'all. Merry Christmas.
All right. Love to you all.